Back again, part 3 of the lesson called the salvation belongs to the children of Israel, not the other nation. And I left out part 2. This is, I left out part 2 about, what the Lord said about Israel being above everybody else in the world. And now he's saying about these other nations, they are less than nothing, of vanity. So I'm going to reread the scriptures again so we can catch up and so y'all can remember what I read. So I'm going to go back to Isaiah chapter 40 verse 15, and we're going to skip down to verse 17 and get this started. So Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 15, and skip down to verse 17. And it says right here, and behold, the nation as a drop in a bucket, and our cunning as the small dust of diamonds. Behold, he take us up to Ilies as a very little thing. Now skip down to verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are coming to him as less than nothing and vanity. Wait a minute. Now the Lord, he's not talking about the children of Israel, because the Lord said, look, I have chose you to be a holy and special people to me, to be special, something else to the Lord, and to be above everybody else on the earth. He said that to the children of Israel. Now we just read right here. He said the total opposite when he said to the other nations. He said these other nations is a drop of a bucket. They are nothing, and they are nothing, and they are less than nothing, and vanity. So why would the Lord say everybody can be his children, but he said about all the other nations who's not an Israelite, all the nations in the world, he said that all the other nations in the world, and he said they are less than nothing and vanity. You know what I'm saying? So the Bible says so totally different than these camps and these Sunday churches teaching. Now let's move on. Now let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 54. So we're going to read the same thing, and he's going to reiterate what Isaiah 40 was talking about. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. It says, after these, Adam also, who that made us Lord of all their creatures, of him come we all, and the people also who that was chosen. Like I said in my other part, yes, I'll give y'all some credit for that. I'll give y'all a little credit. Everybody came out of Adam, but the children of Israel came out of Adam too, right? Verse 55. All this I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made us the world for our sake. And he did, because when he returns, he gonna give the earth as our inheritance to our people Israel only. Verse 56. As for the other people, which also came of Adam, which came out of Adam, right? And thou hast said they are nothing, but like unto spittle, and hast likened unto the boundaries of them, unto the drop that falleth with a vessel. Wait a minute. The Lord said he said the same thing, but he being a little more graphic with this one. He said all the other nations is less than nothing and spittle. They ain't up but a spittle, and they ain't count as a one drop of a bucket, man. To be a spittle, that means that you less than horse. Matter of fact, horses and cow shit got more volume than spit. You ain't nothing but spit that people walk over. And that's what he's saying about these other nations. Otherwise, he would not write and say the way he said it in that content in the scriptures, though. Oh, let me guess. It's too rated R for some of your camps. But that's all right. But the word of God is a two-edged sword. It's supposed to hurt because the truth hurts. Now, verse 56. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens, which I had ever been reputed as nothing, has begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But we, that people, who thou hast called by thy firstborn, that only begotten in the firmament loving, and are given to their hand. If the world be made for our sakes, why do we do not possess the inheritance of the world? How long shall this endure? So the question is, why are we going through this hell right now? Why we ain't got no inheritance? Why everybody ruling over us? And we supposed to be above everybody else, and these other days are supposed to be less than nothing and spittle. Now let's go back into the curses. So we'll go to the book of Leviticus chapter 14 right quick. Leviticus chapter 26, Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 14. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 14. And it says right here, but ye shall not, but he said, if ye would not hearken unto me, and would not do all these commandments, if ye shall despise my statutes, or your soul abhors my judgment, so that ye do not all my commandments, but ye break my covenant, also I will do this unto you. I will appoint over you a terror, consumption, and burning agar, that shall consume the eyes and cause that sorrow heart. Ye shall sow that seed in vain, and your enemy shall eat it. Verse 17, I will set my face against you. Ye shall be slain before your enemies. and they that hate you shall range over you, and ye shall flee when none pursues you. Now let's go back here. Like I said, look at Michael Brown's case. A lot of Israelites, a lot of Negro coons walking out here talking about color doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter. Okay, so why y'all protesting over there in Missouri, Ferguson, Missouri? Why are y'all protesting over there then? Why are y'all so pissed off there if color does not matter? That's because color did matter, because otherwise, why would the cops sit right there and murder Michael Brown if color does not matter? And we all know what common sense that, because he was a black man, because he was an Israelite. And because we did not do what the Lord said to do, we going through these curses right now as we speak. It would not go away until we come back to the Lord, so that way, when he does return, he going to bring us back on our land. That's also salvation too. But the point is that the curses was put on our people, and these other nations will rule over us, right? Now, let me see. Now, let's get down to verse 33. It said, I will scatter you among the heathen, and I will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your city waste. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbath as long as it lies desolated, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy the Sabbath. Because when we was in Israel at that time, we did not keep God's Shabbats like we supposed to. We didn't keep none of his Sabbaths like we supposed to, as he commanded us. Because in the book of Exodus 20, he said, remember the Sabbath, keep it holy. And we did not do that. We was breaking and we was working to do what we want to do on the Sabbath. And it pissed the Lord off. That's why that we got kicked out the land. And that's why we suffer what we suffer right now. Because the Bible says you break one law, you break it all. Sin is the transgression of the law, as I just read in part 1 or part 2, whatever the part was. But the point is that that's the question in 2nd Ezra 6. Why are these other nations ruling over us and the world's given to us as a heritage? Because our forefathers sinned. That's why. Now I'm going to keep on going. As it lies desolated, it should rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbath when you dwell upon it. And upon it that left a lot of you, I will set faintness in their hearts, in the lands of their enemies, and sound of shaking the reef shall chase them, and they shall flee as flee from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursues, and they shall fall one upon another as it were before the sword, and none shall pursue, and ye shall have no power and stand before your enemies. All this protest, y'all calling on Jesse Jackson and the fake Al Sharpton, they ain't not gonna do nothing, because they ain't got no damn powers themselves. And Jesse Jackson Al Sharpton just a snitch himself. Matter of fact, both of them are FBI's informant, if I'm not mistaken. But the point is, though, we don't have no might to stand up against these people, because we transgress the Lord's laws, man. Point blank. And y'all over here protesting, asking these crackers for y'all rights and stuff, and they try to tell you still slaves to them. You ain't nothing. They tell you in many ways, but most of our people refuse to listen until we see another Michael Brown take place in the future. And we already about to be a martial law, because we started over there. And we already know Missouri got a history in racism, in America. I already know that. We know the history of that in St. Louis alone. But the point is, though, until we come back to the Heavenly Father by keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments, we're going to still be under these curses and go through the things we're going through right now as a people, as black folks, the so-called Israelite man and black woman. Now I'm going to keep on going. Now it says right here, verse 30, I think I'm in 37. It says, they shall fall upon another, as it were before the sword. None pursue us, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies. And ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat ye up. The Lord said the land of our enemies. He didn't say the land of your friends, your land of your neighbors, your land of your brothers. He said the land of your enemies. So who country is this? The white man and the Indians. And remember, the Indians slaved us too. This is the white man's land. Go over to Europe. This is the white man's land. Go to Africa. Them Hamites hate you over there. And we got some brothers and sisters who scattered in Africa too. They going through hell too. But them damn Africans hate us, man. They know we Israel. Go to them damn Middle East. Look how they did to our black women over there. They do to our black brothers over there. They hate us. They go to India over there. When you look at the Sintis, those black people who came over in slave ship, look how they treat us. Look how they live it. They hate us all around the earth. And all because we did not keep none of God's commandments. We got the nerve to talk about we ain't got to keep no laws no more, but at the same token though, did not the law say thou shalt not murder? And we going around killing each other as like it's going out of style, and we expect for everybody to respect us. We can expect for everybody not to respect us because the Lord said we're going to be scattered in the land of our enemies anyway. And he tells us don't make no covenant with these other nations, and that's in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1 through 4, and that's a commandment right there. But you got these bullshit camps teaching you that we need to teach to these other nations, and that's why we are in captivity. But the Bible said we in captivity because we didn't keep none of God's laws. Including Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1 through 4. Y'all look over. Shoot. But this is what we're going through right now as a nation. Verse 39, and they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquities in your enemies' lands. That means scatter all around the earth, right? And also the iniquities of their fathers should they pine away with them. Why are we over here? Because our forefathers sinned against the Most High God when we was back in our land. Now, I'm not going to stop here. Now, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I'm going to start verse 64. I'm not going to read all the curses. I'm going to read some of the curses so y'all can get the point. Why do the children of Israel need salvation? Why we need salvation as a nation? You don't see these other nations going through the curses. You don't see a whitey was scattered all over the world. Well, it was the ones that's doing all the scatter towards our people. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and we're going to read verse 64. And it says, the Lord shall scatter you among all the people from one end of the earth and even to another, and there shall you serve other gods which neither thou and nor their fathers have known, wood or stone. Did not the Lord say we're going to be scattered in the land of our enemies? Yeah. He talked about the same thing. And what's going to happen once we scatter? We're going to worship other religion, and we're going to piss the law off even more because we keep on wanting to be Muslims. That's the stone. Everybody want to be Christians. That's the wood right there, the cross. And they don't teach you nothing but hate your own people and destroy each other because we are divided as a nation. So-called black man and black woman who are the real Israelites because of religion. Hell, I'm going through with my family law because of religion. How you gonna be an apostolic there at the same time you hate me for telling you the truth? You read the Bible. But the point is, we going through hell right now because we do not keep none of God's commandments, and that's part of the curses that how we gonna hate each other as a nation while we scatter. Because the brother should be evil towards his own brother, and the sister gonna be evil towards her husband, and towards the other women, even our children. So let me see, verse 65. Among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall thy soul or thy feet have rest, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart, and for the eyes, and sorrow the heart. So he said we ain't gonna have no ease over here. So why is everybody trying to get equal rights with these crackers over here, and why they making laws to put us in jail for no reason and kill us? Matter of fact, just a report that I looked on Facebook, some 13-year-old little boy died for 3 minutes. He said he had a dream, and he said that he saw a guy. He said that the Lord was a nigger. Now the little boy know the truth that the Lord is black, and other nations know. And other nations know who the Lord was a black man too. They're not gonna tell you. But the point is, though, we will not have no ease because we have disobeyed the Lord's laws. But the question is, when did the curses took place? And what happens after the curses took place? So let's go to when did the curses took place and for us to be fulfilled in Israel, right? So let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11 right quick. The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. It says, yet all Israel had transgressed that law. Give it departing. Wait, let me read that again. He said, all Israel has transgressed that law, even by departing that they might not obey that voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us. Let me wait a minute. Now it got to the point in Daniel's time, Israel sinned so bad to the point the curse is not pouring upon us. It had poured upon the children of Israel as a nation. Right? And what else it says right here? Then in the oath that was written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. Now, that is not read a list of curses because we disobeyed God's commandments in the book of Leviticus 26, in the book of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. It tell you about the same thing. The Lord gave Israel a warning. If you break the laws, I'm going to put a curse on you. point blank. And no other nation fit this curse but Israel. Even the Bible talks about your 400 years of slavery. All you have to do is go back to Genesis 15 verse 13. Now let's read. Now I'm gonna keep on going. Then he has confirmed. Actually, he has confirmed his words which he has spoken against us, against our righteousness, and but that great mercies. O Lord, forgive. O Lord, hearken, and do defy not for thy own sake, my God, for that city that people call by that name. Who's called by the Lord's name? Israel, because that's one of God's names. We married to him. When you marry, get your husband's last name. We have children have the daddy's last name. The Lord is our husband as a nation. So the point is that the curses took place when we transgressed that bad. Now what happens once the curses took place on us? Let's read some of the examples. So matter of fact, I want to go to a little history, because not just we were scattered, but Israel as a nation was divided. Because you remember, when King David came into power, right? I'm going to give you a perfect example. When King David came into power, right? He ruled the entire nation of Israel. He ruled all 12 tribes. He ruled the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. It wasn't no such thing was a northern or southern kingdom where King David ruled, because he ruled the kingdom with righteousness, and he was God's own heart, right? But when King Solomon came to power, guess what happened? He broke the laws. The law the Lord told the children of Israel, do not marry outside your nations. And that's where that 700 concubine wives and 300 concubines come from. These were of the women of the other nations. And the Lord warned us of that. It tells you right there. We're going to read about it too, by the way. And because of that, Israel was divided into two nations. As a matter of fact, the Lord was about to destroy Israel. Because we can read the whole Bible, how the Lord was going to destroy Israel anyway. But thanks to our service and thanks to the oath he made, he did not. Because guess what the Lord did instead of destroying us? He broke the nation into two separate kingdoms and two separate nations. That was part of the curse right there. We was going to be broken into two kingdoms. You had the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. You had your southern kingdom, which is the house of Judah, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. And you had the northern kingdom, which is the house of Ephraim, which is the house of Israel. Sometimes they call it the house of Ephraim, because we read the Bible, the Lord has set up the tribe of Ephraim to run the 10 tribes, which is called the house of Israel, the northern kingdom. So let's read the book of let's read the book of 1 Kings chapter 11 right quick. We're going to read about that. We're going to read about Solomon's sin right quick. And you know, because that caused the split too. That fulfilled Deuteronomy 28th chapter. That also fulfilled the curse of Deuteronomy 9:11. So let's go to the book of 1 Kings chapter 11, and we're going to read verse 1 through 13. In the book of 1 Kings chapter 13, as in chapter 11, verse 1 and verse 1 through 13. And it says, but King Solomon loved many strange women, and together with the daughters of Pharaoh, the women of the Moabites, the Amorites, the Edomites, the Zidonians, and the Hittites. And you can read the same thing. The Lord tells us don't marry these nations. And you can read that in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1 through 4. If I had no time thing, I will read it to y'all to prove it that that's the law he broke. And the Lord said don't make no covenant with these other nations. But no, King Solomon will sit here and want to sin against the Lord. And that's why we are divided as a nation right now. That's the southern and the northern kingdom. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you should not go into them, neither should that come into you, for surely they will turn away your heart and serve their gods. So what do you mean by they should serve their gods? I looked at the word, the concordance word, the gods, in the Blue Letter Dictionary. It just means the man or rulers of the other nation. And look how the brothers be when they marry outside their race. They worship white men. They even kiss his ass. They go so far defending him to the point they hate you. They hate their own brother. And I've seen it myself right there. You know what I'm saying? I used to date white girls when I was, 15 years old. But, you know, I was young and stupid. But I felt that hate towards my sister at that time. I never understood. And now, since I'm 32 years old, got the understanding of the truth, now we're not supposed to do that. Because you're going to hate your own people. And you're going to end up worshiping white man. And the Lord going to kill your butt for that. Point blank. Now let me see. Then then Solomon clave unto the east he loved, right? Then he had 700 wives, princes, and 300 concubines, and all the wives turned his heart away. And for it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned his heart away after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord God, and as was the heart of David. David's heart was perfect. Now I could see if Solomon married 700 concubines, 600 wives who are Israelites, had 300 Hebrew concubines who were Hebrew Israelites, the Lord would be cool with it, because He's not breaking no laws. Because the Bible says men can have more than one wife. But that's not the point. The point is, if Solomon stick with his own people, the kingdom of Israel, it won't be no southern and northern kingdom, because we would still be one as a nation, all 12 tribes. Because he committed that sin, that's why we divide as a nation. Now I'm going to keep on going. Verse 5, and Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and Malcham, an abomination of the Amorites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord as David his father did. Then did Solomon build high places for Chashmas, an abomination of Moab. And the Bible says with Moab and the Amorites ain't supposed to be in the congregation anyway forever. He broke that law. That was a big no-no. In the hill that before Jerusalem, and Moloch, which is the abomination of the children of Ammon, likewise did he for him in strange wise burnt incense and sacrificed to their gods. And the Lord was angry with Solomon, and because his heart was turned from the Lord, and the God of Israel, which has appointed it to him twice, and has commanded him concerning this thing. So Christ tells us, look, man, did I not tell you not to marry these women, these other nations and stuff? Did I tell you to stick with your own women who are Israelites with you? And somewhere in the Bible, we ain't supposed to cross tribes as Israelites. He would have got away a lot better if he had married another tribe, though. And they were still Israelites because we got the same father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? But he went outside out of his nations, like many of us doing today. And that's why we are cursed right now. That's why the white man's killing you, because you dating this other woman. Have y'all watched that movie called Travail? And that just show you how they just show you how white girls will give you trouble if you mess with the white man's daughter. Get yourself killed and be disappeared. And not just that though, they even make your name a menace to society, because they gonna plan all kind of lies what she did. And dead men can't talk. But the point is though, Solomon was the reason why the kingdom was broken into two kingdoms, right? Southern and northern kingdom. I'm gonna keep on reading. Then verse let me see, in verse 10. And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, that he kept not that which is the Lord command. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, thou shalt not keep my covenant and my statute which I had commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from you, and I will give it to that servant. Who was the servant? It was Ephraim. I think I got it down too. And notwithstanding that days I would not do it for David that father's sake, but I will rend it out of that son of your son. That's royal bone right there. If I pronounce his name right, forgive me if I mess it up. But howbeit I will not rend it away the kingdom, but I will give one tribe to that son David, that servant's sake, and Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. So who was that one tribe right there? When you read your Bible, that was the tribe of Benjamin. Then later on, the Levites came in and joined in the party, because the northern kingdom was just doing all kind of stuff and defied the priesthood, so they kicked them out, and they ended up joining with the house of Judah. Point blank. Matter of fact, we might read it. So let's go to the laws he had broken, because the Lord said he had married the daughters of these other nations. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1 through 4 right quick. And then I'm going to do this at part 4. I'm going to read the book of Jubilees at part 4. So bear with me, y'all, just in case this camera go bad on me. Because Satan is busy. He tried to destroy my joy through people I used to be cool with. They're trying to be snakes. And now he tried to do this with this camera, because the Lord told me to do this. And I'm determined to get this truth, because y'all caps is not telling you this. So the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1 through 4. And it says, when the Lord thy God shall bring it into the land, whether to go possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, and the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations and great and mighty did die. Right? He named them. He only named a few. Because you go back into the book of 1 Kings, he named a lot. And when the Lord thy God should deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. Thou shalt utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy to them. Wait a minute. The Lord said, don't make no covenant with these other nations. That means you can't be friends with them. You can't teach them the word, because that's the covenant right there. He never told you to go over there to teach the word, because he said in the book of Psalms 147 and verse 19 to 20, especially verse 20, he has not showed his word, he has not dealt with the other nations. So why everybody make a covenant with these other nations when these other nations hate your guts? If you don't want to be around them, that means you can't marry them. You can't be their friends. In the book of Jubilees tell you, you can't even eat around them. And this is the word of God right there. And that's why they took those books out, because it was too graphic. And they don't want us to know the whole Bible, the understanding of the Bible. That's why they took these books out. But the point is that the Lord told the children of Israel, do not marry outside a nation. And because of that, that's why we curse as a nation. Point blank. Now I'm going to keep on reading verse 3. Then he said, neither that shalt thou make marriages with them, that daughter shall thou not give up to his son, and his daughter shall thou take into that son let me read that again. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, that daughters thou shalt not give into him, get to his son, and nor his daughter shall thou take into that son. They will turn away their heart, and their sons will follow me. Then they may serve other gods, so the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you and destroy you. That means you cannot have mixed breed kids. Because if you can't marry outside your kids, how the fuck, excuse me, I'm going to say what I mean. How in the hell can you say that it's all about the seed of a mother, the seed of the father, but when the Lord said you cannot even marry them. You cannot marry outside your race. So I'm going to continue this in part 4. I really ain't got that much time, so bear with me. So I hope y'all learned something in this part, and I'll see y'all part 4. Shalom.